Hi everyone, here Sean Shumway with Authentic Arising. It's time for another reading. As you can see, we're trying a different camera setup here. I already did pull the card to begin with, just so I could get a kind of a view on how all this would look. We'll get into the reading here in a moment, but if you feel inclined, please do comment. Let me know what you think about the new setup here. So this is being recorded on the new moon of June 2026, but this is a timeless reading. So whenever you see this message, it is when it's time for you to hear it. And let's drop in and see what needs to come through. Okay. So instead of reading this as the inherent general understanding of the moon and tarot as it stands for in its reversed meaning, what's coming out to me is actually how this card itself looks upside down. And this wolf guy right here, upside down, to me, it almost looks more like some sort of mutated kind of creature. Oh, you can see that almost like, if you see the way of its ear as the mouth and the eyes to the eye, but then these weird ears up above. And it seems very dark, very mischievous, and this is speaking to me of our, what can be our inner sense, our self-doubt, the part of us that doubts, that says we're no good, that wants to criticize. And especially that it's in the context of the moon. The moon has the association with our subconscious, those deeper spaces, the feminine side, the that is which is beyond the logical mind. So where a lot of these shadow doubting aspects dwell. But of course, in the full moon, everything is coming up to full light. So maybe not this time, whenever you're seeing this, is be very, very aware of those things and bring awareness to them. Let me tune into that a little bit more. And be aware that yes, we want to do our shadow work and deep into and see those things, but there's always going to be something there. There's always going to be a deeper layer to go beyond our logical mind. So never stop the process. Feel good about the progress you've made and the work you've done, and let that be the fire, the drive to keep going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. This is whenever you're seeing this is a good time to come back to that acknowledgement, to realize those things are there, and to say, what is the next step of looking into my shadow, looking to those unknown aspects, and what else needs to be brought to light. And to know that even though there is an inner voice that fears, that says, that doubts, that says it's no good, no, it's there just to mess with us. That come back to your true self, your authentic self, that divine spark within. Know that is your true nature. No matter what any of this other programming says, it's just something to be moved past as an opportunity to step even more into that inner divine self. And so now I'm actually being called to turn the card and see as we come from this place, once we tune into this weird, dark looking, freaky thing and bring it up to full of the light of the moon, or any of that light, then we find the path forward here. It is only through acknowledgement can we then step forward and find the power and make the changes we need to for ourselves. Okay, and more cards coming through. Top one here. And actually hearing to turn that back over. So the Four of Stones, Four of Pentacles. And of course, our pentacle suit, our stones in this case, while often it can have to do with things with like money, finances, and whatnot, you know, it is also very much about our foundation, about those inner senses of those inner things we're built our life around, especially on the physical matter plane, physical aspects, the real material side of things. And what's coming through is really tune in for clarity here. You know, I'm seeing the Four of Stones like four pillars of saying, you know, have a solid foundation of things that are built on, to be a container to do this inner shadow work, and to always, as the guy's looking up here, this bird, you know, to always have that higher view. And know what and in this case, you know, the example of like the four pillars, what our most core values are, so we can make a logical, structured plan to move forward, to be able to do whatever this work is asking of us, and to bring it into practical reality, come back to our most basic core foundational self as we work through this process of looking up to the higher things and witnessing the beauty that is natural and inherent around us. And that even in the midst of the city like this, there are still, you know, in a place where we may, that those of us that resonate in this example of natural beauty, you know, that's everywhere, no matter where we are, if we just take the time to stop and see it. And what else are we seeing here? Being called back to the Moon card for some reason here. Let's tune into that. To turn it back up. What are you telling me? Let's see here. Okay. So I was reading the little caption on the card. You know, this is the Great Outdoors Tarot. So it's got some names of what some of these places are. We have the Craters of the Moon Monument and Preserve. You know, it's a natural area. And kind of like the point I was making there, don't forget the fact that even the most developed areas, this more wild landscape, this spirit of the land, it's always there. It is always resonates within our feet. We can always tap into, connect with that, even in the midst of a big city. And if we remember that, that will serve as we're doing this work of stepping into our shadow selves, of bringing these deep things to light, of of remembering to look up to the higher views of. So no matter where you are, remember to tap into that greater flow of nature, of the seasons, of the pulse of the earth, because it is always present in any landscape, in any environment. And remember that you are just one pulse in the piece of that. You are one point in that web. And there is a natural ebb and flow that will guide you as you travel along the path of doing that shadow work we started talking about at the beginning of the reading. So yes, remember to always come back to that. And I'm getting that's all for this one. This is going to be a pretty short one, but to sum the points back up, whenever you see this, remember to step into the self. Remember the shadow aspects that are always there, and it's okay that it's there, even if there is something that says you are no good, that doubts, that fears. That is just a program to step past and gain greater awareness of the deeper divine self within that is the true you. As you are doing this work, remember the deep foundations of your life, the things that are solid, that are reliable. Use that as a guidepost to make a logical, structured plan of how to attack the work. And remember to always look up to the beautiful natural things that are around you, the little moments of joy and the way they uplift and inspire you. And also remember that no matter what environment you're in, you can tap into the inherent, deep, rich, natural flows of the earth. Of course, it's great to get out in nature when you can, but if that's not available to you, you can still access that anywhere or anytime with some stillness and awareness. So that is the message for now. I hope this touches and resonates you. If it does, please feel free to hit the like button, comment, subscribe, share with who this might find resonance with, and as always, be blessed.